Oh man, let me close this. Oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man. Before I jump in this video, hit that like, hit that subscribe button. You feel me? I have a strong feeling a lot of niggas gonna unsubscribe to my channel for this video, but I don't even care. I'ma go in and I'ma jump right in. You feel me? So right now, Terence Crawford is hating on Canelo, and Terence Crawford is garbage truck juice. Let me tell you why Terence Crawford is hating on Canelo and Terence Crawford is garbage truck juice. I'm going to explain to y'all why. So, Canelo fought a man named Austin Trout, right? Canelo fought a man named Floyd Money Mayweather. Canelo fought a man named Danny Jacob. Austin Trout gave Canelo one of his toughest fights of his whole entire career, including Danny Jacobs, and Mayweather beat him. Now, Terence Crawford came out and he said Canelo Alvarez shy away from black fighters and he doesn't want to fight black fighters. I just told you when I started the video that Austin Trout, which is a black fighter, Danny Jacob, which is a black fighter, Mayweather, which is a black fighter, gave Canelo the toughest fight of his life. Austin Trout did his thing, made it very hard for Canelo. Danny Jacob made it very hard for Canelo. Mayweather beat Canelo. Now, Canelo last two opponents was Callum Smith and Admi Yildirim. You feel me? His next opponent is gonna be Billy Joe Saunders. All three of those guys that I just named are Caucasian fighters. Now, the fighters that are requested by the fans, except for Canelo fans, which is Jamal Charlo and Demetrius Andrade and David Benavidez, which is a black fighter for y'all don't know. 5% of African is in Mexican's DNA. So he is black. For the people that did not know, Terence Crawford just didn't mention the Jamal Charlo, and he ain't mentioned the David Benavidez, but he mentioned the Jamal Charlo, and he mentioned the Andrade. He said that Canelo Alvarez been avoiding Andrade, and he been avoiding Charlo for the longest, but he did not mention David Benavidez, which is a black fighter. For y'all didn't know, y'all can look it up on Google, look it up on whatever y'all want to look up. You feel me? Mexicans are black. They got 5% African inside of their DNA. Y'all can look this up. I'm not making this up, bro. You feel me? Canelo Alvarez had an opportunity to fight Jamal Charlo when Jamal Charlo was at 154, but he did not fight Jamal Charlo. He had an opportunity to fight Andrade, but he didn't fight Andrade. He had an opportunity to fight David Benavidez before David Benavidez had lost his belt due to weight problems. He missed weight on the scale, so he lost his belt. He had an opportunity to fight him before he had lost his belt, but he chose to wait until David Benavidez lost his belt to go fight for the belt. All of these stuff I'm saying are facts. These are not opinions. These are facts. Canelo Alvarez did not fight for David Benavidez' belt until David Benavidez lost on scale. That is a fact. That is not an opinion. Canelo Alvarez did have the opportunity to fight Jermall Charlo when he was his mandatory, and he did not fight him. He had the opportunity to fight Jermall Charlo when he was at 154, and he did not fight him. The Charlo brothers. Now, I ain't going to be biased. I'm going to keep it a stack. I don't think Jermall Charlo could beat Canelo Alvarez. Probably Andre, you feel me? Probably Andre, and people need to ask this question too. Why the hell did Jermall Charlo and Andre did not fight yet? You feel me? Jermall Charlo and Andre did not fight yet. People need to ask that question too. You feel me? I ain't gonna forget about that. Why Jermall Charlo and Andre didn't fight, and why Jermall Charlo and David Benavidez didn't fight. That question needs to be asked. Why Jermall Charlo did not fight Andre yet. You feel me? But all three of these guys that I named wants to fight Canelo Alvarez. They all want to fight him. And I think that Andre and David Benavidez have a chance of beating Canelo Alvarez. I don't think they could beat him, but they pose a threat. So does Jermall Charlo. All three of those guys pose a threat to Canelo Alvarez. And that is a fact. And y'all know that. Triple G cannot beat Jermall Charlo. Triple G cannot beat Andre. Triple G cannot beat David Benavidez. And that was arguably Canelo's toughest opponent. We ain't gonna mention Mayweather because we saw what Mayweather did to him. You feel me? Danny Jacobs and Austin Trout gave Canelo one of the toughest fight of his life. And that is a fact. Y'all can go back and y'all can watch that fight. You feel me? But, like I said, Canelo Alvarez fights and he destroys. But them three fighters, they're hunting him. And he seems to fight a Callum Smith, which was his mandatory. I ain't about to sit here and be like these other niggas and sit here and want to violate. I know that was his mandatory. The Admin Yildirim, he requested that to be his mandatory. That is a fact. Y'all can go check that out if y'all think I'm lying about that. And he chose to fight Billy Joe Saunders when he could have fought Andre, Charlo, or he could have fought what's his name? Benavidez. Now, a lot of people may say, oh, Charlo didn't fight nobody, but Derevchenko, Andre didn't fight nobody, Benavidez didn't fight nobody, so why should they get that fight to fight Canelo? Why the hell should Virgil Ortiz get an opportunity to fight Terence Crawford? Who did Virgil Ortiz beat at 147 to get an opportunity to fight Terence Crawford? Y'all got to keep the same energy, bro. Y'all got to keep the same energy. And that's the thing with me. I'm a real one. I'm not going to sugarcoat nothing. Now, I gave Canelo Alvarez flowers. The niggas that he defeated, Austin Trout, Danny Jacobs. You feel me? Them niggas, they're not no pushover. They're very good fighters. You feel me? Everybody know Austin Trout and Danny Jacobs, they're good fighters. If y'all wanna take credit away from the nigga from beating them niggas, they are being biased. You feel me? But they gave him a tough matchup, like what Terence Crawford stated. The black fighters make it hard for Canelo Alvarez, so he shy away from them. That is 100% fact. That is not no opinion. Y'all can look at the track records and look up all of Canelo's fights with these black fighters. They all gave him a tough fight. One of them beat him within Mayweather. So Terence Crawford is not lying. And a lot of people gonna say, oh, well, Terence Crawford, he does the same. The difference between Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez, these guys want to fight Canelo Alvarez. Canelo Alvarez can make that fight with these guys. Sean Porter is Terence Crawford mandatory right now. Sean Porter did not activate his mandatory position. Why? You ever spent dick groomers? I don't know why. Ask Sean Porter that question. Danny Garcia fought Keith Thurman, Sean Porter, Errol Spence, and he's going to move up to 154, and he did not fight Terence Crawford. Why? Why? Ask him. Go ask Danny. Why? Mikey Garcia, a small fighter, moved up 2 weight classes to go fight Errol Spence and didn't even look at Terence Crawford, the smallest fighter. Why? Go ask Mikey Garcia that question. I don't know why. Go ask Mikey Garcia. You feel me? Keith Thurman, Mr. I just lost by Manny Pacquiao, and I'm in my prime, and Manny Pacquiao is 40-something years of age, want $10 million, and he never made $10 million in his career to fight Terence Crawford. Ask Keith Thurman why. Ask him why. And last but not known, we're going to talk about Kell Brook. Kell Brook, the fighter that y'all said, oh, he's going to give Terence Crawford the toughest fight of his career, got put down in 4 rounds. While after he was coming off of a win. Why? He ain't never avoid Terence Crawford, and he got put down in 4 rounds. Why? Last but not least, Errol Spence Jr. Why not take the easy route and go beat Sean Porter? Why not do that? You a smart man, but you ain't that smart. Fought Sean Porter, beat Sean Porter, told Bud that he gotta get a belt. Bud got a belt, told Bud that he gotta clean out his side of the street. Bud cleaned out his side of the street, but yet still he going 80-20 a nigga. Why? Terence Crawford is the most avoided fighter in boxing right now. That is a fact. That is not an opinion. That is a fact. So for the Errol Spence and nut groomers and the Canelo Alvarez fans that don't want to be honest that Canelo Alvarez does not want to fight Demetrius Andre and he does not want to fight Charlo and David Benavidez right now, which are all 3 black fighters, I don't know why. Ask Canelo Alvarez why. But I did know that Austin Trout and Danny Jacob gave Canelo Alvarez one of his toughest fights. And Mayweather beat Canelo. All 3 of these guys are black fighters. So ask me, why hasn't Canelo I'm trying to push a fight with Demetrius Andrade or Jamal Charlo or David Benavidez? All 3 of those guys are black fighters. Ask him why. Now, I'm not going to take, like I said, I ain't going to take away no credit from Canelo Alvarez. I feel like Jamal Charlo cannot beat Canelo Alvarez. He will give him a run for his money. But I don't feel like he could beat Canelo Alvarez because he doesn't have the ring awareness too. That's just how I feel. Y'all can comment, y'all can tell me, yo, you talking bullshit. I don't feel like Jamal Charlo can beat Canelo Alvarez because he doesn't have the ring awareness too. Demetrius Andrade, he probably posed a threat, yeah. You feel me? I ain't gonna lie, he probably posed a threat, yeah. But I don't know if he could beat Canelo Alvarez. But all these guys, including David Benavidez, his problem is he don't have great defense. But the reason why I give David Benavidez an edge over all those guys, he's very big. He is mad big. And he got his hand speed is despicable. His hand speed is different. And he got power in both hands. But his defense is the problem. Charlo, ring awareness is the problem. Andre, ring awareness is the problem. You feel me? So I don't know, like, if they could beat a Canelo, but they would definitely give him a run for his money. But I still favor Canelo. And I'm just going to keep it a stack. I still favor Canelo. You feel me? But Canelo is avoiding them 3 fighters because them 3 fighters are very difficult fight for him. Just like Danny Jacobs, Austin Trout, and Mayweather that beat him. So y'all tell me what I'm saying is lies in this video. You feel me? Y'all tell me if y'all think Terence Crawford is hating on Canelo Alvarez or he just stating real life facts based off what he see and based off what everybody see. You feel me? And like I said from before, it's a difference when people are hunting you than when people are avoiding you. Terence Crawford can't get those big fights with those big names because they're avoiding him. And that is a fact. That is not an opinion. When did you ever heard Mikey Garcia said, yo, I want to fight Terence Crawford? When did you ever hear Danny Garcia said, I want to fight Terence Crawford? When did you ever hear Keith Thurman sit here and said, yo, I want to fight Terence Crawford and send a deal that makes sense, talking about $10 million. This nigga never made $10 million and he's coming off a loss with Manny Pacquiao, nigga. Why would you ever even talk about $10 million with a nigga? It just doesn't make no sense. These niggas don't want to fight this man. I'm not a fanboy, nigga. I'm being honest. If y'all think I'm not being honest, we can have a conversation on the here. Like, boxing don't gotta be a separation. You feel me? And this is what the LDBC does, and this is what IBF do. You feel me? They got a lot of say here Spanish people sitting here coming on nigga shit talking about, oh, bashing black fighters, talking about, oh, Mayweather never fought this, and why black fighters this and black fighters that. You feel me? And they got a lot of PBS and LDBC nutsuckers coming at Hispanic fighters. It should not be a separation in boxing. And that's what it is right now. That's what's going on right now. But I'm not creating no separation. I am talking facts. I'm talking facts. The same how Canelo Alvarez does not want to fight what's his name? Jamal Charlo. Jamal Charlo does not want to fight David Benavidez. He don't want to fight him. He does not want to fight him. So is Terence Crawford hating on him? Hell no. Y'all think Terence Crawford is ducking Virgil Ortiz? Hell no. And if y'all say Terence Crawford is ducking Virgil Ortiz, I'm gonna use the same point that y'all use against Charlo. Charlo doesn't have the resume to. So why should he get a fight with Charlo with Canelo Alvarez? Well, Virgil Ortiz don't have the resume, so why should he get a fight with Terence Crawford? You see what I'm doing? You see what's going on here in boxing? Like, there's nobody's not being real. Like, I'm real, nigga. I said that Terence Crawford has not fight the top fighters in boxing because they're avoiding him. And I gave details, specific details on why they're avoiding him. Mikey Garcia never mentioned Terence Crawford's name. Never. And he moved up 2 weight class to go fight a bigger fighter with an Errol Spence, then go fight a Terence Crawford. Danny Garcia fought everybody. Sean Porter, he fought Keith Thurman, he fought Errol Spence, but he never talk about Terence Crawford, and he's about to move up to 154. Keith Thurman asking for $10 million, and this nigga never made $10 million, and he's coming off of a loss. So he definitely don't want the fight. Sean Porter has his mandatory position right now that he can activate and make that fight happen, and he does not do it. So am I bugging? Last but not least, again, Errol Spence said if Terence Crawford get a belt, he will fight him. Terence Crawford got a belt. He said after he beat Sean Porter, you fight him. He beat Sean Porter. And now, he said after Terence Crawford clean up his side of the street, Terence Crawford did that. Now, he want an 80-20 nigga. After you stood in one weight class, my man, got 2 belts, my man. You started off at 154, my man. Didn't win no belts at 154, my man. Went down to 147, my man. Fighting fighters like Danny Garcia that is well established at 140, my man. Fighting fighters like Mikey Garcia that is well established at 130 and 135, my man. So what's going on, my man? Y'all can't mess with me, bro. When it's come to this blogging stuff, like I'm way too intelligent for y'all. Y'all fans can't even say, y'all haters can't even say nothing. Nothing. Y'all can't say nothing at all to sit here and defend anything what I'm saying, bro. Y'all can't say nothing at all. Y'all can't say nothing at all to sit here and be like, yo, you lying. Because I'll back it up with evidence. Like I'll back it up with evidence. I back everything up that I say with evidence. You feel me? So y'all can call me a Terence Crawford fanboy. Y'all can sit here and say, yo, I don't like Canelo and all this extra shit. But I come with facts. And y'all come with feelings. And the LDBC and the IBFP, they're creating a separation with boxing. Like the Hispanic fighters is hating on the black fight. As Hispanic fans don't like the black fighters, and the black and the LDBC is going at the Hispanic fighters. You feel me? Like all this shit is just in turmoil. But what y'all need to do is just accept facts. Y'all don't want to accept facts. You feel me? That's why there's a big separation in boxing right now. Y'all don't want to accept facts. I can accept facts. Terence Crawford never fought the likes of none of the big names because they're avoiding him, and I gave y'all details and why they're avoiding him. Canelo Alvarez never fought Andre. He never fought what's his name? He never fought Jamal Charlo, and he never fought David Benavidez, and he had opportunities to fight all 3 of them. So when Terence Crawford said the black fighters gave Canelo Alvarez one of his toughest match, facts. Austin Trout, Danny Jacobs, and Mayweather beat him. Go back and watch those fights if y'all think I'm lying. I'm talking facts. So nothing what Terence Crawford said is a lie. This nigga is really talking facts. He's talking facts. Now to stray off point a little bit, you feel me? This is to Bud. Bro, don't ever in your lifetime ever go on air saying you don't want to fight Errol Spence. Cause you know why? Cause when you say stuff like that, for the people that is slow and the people that love to groom Errol Spence nuts is gonna sit here and say, oh look, oh shit, yo bro, look. Bud said he don't want to fight Errol Spence. I told you. But not forgetting that the nigga pulled up on the nigga and said, I want to fight you. And the nigga gave the nigga 3 excuses. And all those 3 excuses can't be excuses no more because you fought, you beat Sean Porter. Terence Crawford got a belt and cleaned out his side of the street. And guess what? Previously, before Terence Crawford said that, you know what this nigga Errol Spence was on his shit saying? He's going 60-40. Nah. 7-30. Nah. I'm an 80-20 nigga. Y'all forgot that? Y'all forgot, yo, why come to my fights? I will never go to one of his fights. Y'all forget the disrespect that he was disrespecting Terence Crawford? But a nigga to say, yo, I don't want to fight you, my nigga. You feel me? Errol Spence never once said, yo, if y'all go back to that interview, Errol Spence was asked about the Terence Crawford fight, and he said, that fight could happen. I don't know. What is I don't know, nigga? What is I don't know? Either the fight's gonna happen or it's not. You the one that holding up the fight, and you know it, cause you clearly came out and you said we gonna see who holding up the fight after I got this third belt. You don't have the third belt yet, bro. You don't have the third belt yet, bro. So who's holding up the fight, bro? You feel me? Like I'm the only thing I could do is just be real, bro. Y'all gonna hate me, or y'all gonna love me, y'all gonna subscribe, or y'all gonna unsubscribe, y'all gonna like, or y'all gonna dislike, but I'm always gonna be real. Peace out.